Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are talking about the latest Naked Gun movie. So this is kind of a reboot, remake, whatever you want to call it, um, of the original. I think there was three in the past. I don't remember the exact titles because they're kind of goofy. But this is one where we have Liam Neeson now taking center stage as opposed to our lead in the past. I don't remember his name either. I've only seen the original. I have not seen any of the sequels from the past. But we're here to talk to you about the movie as far as non-spoilers at first. Then we'll talk about a rating, and then we will go ahead and talk a little bit about spoilers. There's really not much to see because, we don't want to ruin a lot of the laughs and gags of the film, but we'll kind of give you the overall idea of what is going on here. So, uh, again, I've only seen the original, so my expectations of this movie is that it was going to be kind of dumb comedy, very dry humor, which is one of my favorites. And so I would say I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was a lot of fun. Uh, there was a couple of jokes here and there that I didn't understand just because I didn't know the references. And that's fine because it didn't take long for me to, hear a different joke that, I thought was funny. And there was a lot of things that they did that kind of, mirrored the original. I'm pretty sure, like from the commercial, there we see him being Liam Neeson's character, Frank Drebin. I'm pretty sure they just call him Drebin in the movie. Um, but he arrives at one of the crime scenes, and when he gets there, he smashes through the barriers that are supposed to keep people back. I'm pretty sure that's something they did in the original as well, at least to some degree. When his dad, also Frank, because he's Frank Jr., when Frank arrived on like a pier or something, I forget what exactly they were doing there, but very similar to that. They do have some very weird comedy things that happen. If once you end up going to see the movie, you'll realize at least my favorite part is the kitchen scene. We'll just leave it at that, and we'll be talking about that a little bit more later. But just yeah, overall fun, stupid comedy. It doesn't take itself too seriously. You should not take the movie too seriously. Just let it be what it is. Know that things don't make sense for the point of comedic stuff. And yeah, just enjoy it. What'd you think?
I thought it was a pretty good movie too. I'm just gonna be honest with you know, I was really tired when we went to see this movie, and so I'm just having that be an overall caveat to how I rate the film because it's not that I was like falling asleep because I was bored, because it was a good movie. It's just that I was just really exhausted when we went to see this movie.
And we
And so
go
I feel
we go to
like,
the drive-in a lot. So it's a
yeah,
late night showing.
yep. Um, and we had a pretty jam-packed day before that too. So, uh, I'm putting that as a caveat because I feel like I'm almost not able to really rate this movie super fairly just because I was so tired that I feel like for some of it I wasn't able to give it my full attention. But I did think it was fun. There was a lot of great jokes. Um, I don't know if there's really a whole lot to say in terms of like the music of the movie because so much of it is that really heavy, like olden detective jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know what decade era that's necessarily from, so I mean I could pick a number, but I'd just be guessing at this point. But very heavy on the jazz. I feel like the chemistry between the characters was pretty good too, and we had a wide variety of cast members of people who have been around for a while. I mean, you got Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson. We had Danny Huston, I think it's Huston. Jeremy and I know him from a handful of different things, including American Horror Story. Kevin Durant, I know I've seen him before in some other things, and I don't know
We've
that I necessarily recognize anybody else, but I'm
we've
sure
seen
that,
his sidekick a couple of times, Paul Walter Hauser. Um,
oh, yep.
I forget what the movie's name was, but it was a movie we saw a long time ago. Oh, if I just click on his name, I bet I'll see it. We saw Richard Jewell.
Oh, yes, yep.
I've also seen I, Tanya, but I don't think you have.
I have not. He's apparently in the new Fantastic Four also.
He's Embarrassment from Inside Out too.
Hmm, very nice.
And honestly, even though she's super popular, I could not tell you a Pamela Anderson film outside of this one. So
Baywatch.
I haven't watched Baywatch.
I haven't either, but I know that's like her most iconic thing.
I know she is iconic. I just couldn't say what her stuff has been.
Yeah, she was in 110 episodes of Baywatch. And oh, I did not know this. She's Lisa in Home Improvement.
I did not know that either. That's like his
I think
um
that's his assistant.
yeah, that's cool.
She was at least for 23 episodes. So I don't know if she was the entire show, but at least for 23 episodes she was. Anyway, that's I think a general feeling for how I'm feeling about the film. It was pretty good. I would watch it again, mainly because I don't remember all of it, but I do think it's a fun watch.
It absolutely makes me want to watch the sequels of the original. Um, the original film made me feel that way too, but then life gets in the way, and then you lose track of time, and now we're here and we see another one, and it's like, man, I would like to see another movie that's like this, and so there's two more waiting for us, so I'm excited about that. What would you rate the movie, even though you have an asterisk next to it?
Oh, um,
I know what I would give it if you want me to go first.
no, because I don't want it to influence my number. I feel like I'm gonna go with a 7. I feel like that's a it's kind of a cop-out answer. I feel like it's an
But
above average film. I feel like it's above average, so I feel like it's above a 5. I don't know that it was like super fantastic, like what a 10 would be, like all-time best. But I feel like a 7 is where I feel pretty safe at.
yeah, I think I liked it a little bit more, not a lot more, a little bit more. I'm at an 8 out of 10, and the reason why I'm there is so. Yes, the movie was very funny. I will say that. It didn't go as far as I really wanted it to. There's a lot of reviews that were going out that were talking about how this movie was kind of back to the roots of a lot of comedic movies of the past that people say, oh, we would never have that made these days. I don't know if I would agree with that here. Yes, there was a couple of jokes here and there where it's like, yeah, that probably wouldn't have been flying a couple of years ago because things are actually changing all over again. Um, but I wish it went a little bit further than it did for some of its jokes. So,
That original movie had a lot of pretty intense sexual humor.
yeah, this one did too, to a point. So they definitely had that in there, but maybe a little bit more. I don't know.
The original had the same runtime as this movie, an hour
I
25.
I wonder if that was intentional.
I'm not entirely sure. The original is technically The Naked Gun from the files of Police Squad, so it's not just The Naked Gun.
Interesting. I did not know that. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some spoilers. We're not gonna go joke by joke and talk about all that stuff just because it's way better if you go and see the movie and you experience the jokes for yourself. But what is the movie about? The movie is about, we have our cop, we have Liam Neeson, and he is investigating this company that is basically Tesla. That's kind of a funny tongue-in-cheek thing about Elon Musk. But it's about this guy that wants to he has this device that he's creating, and when he turns it on, it'll basically make everybody turn like animalistic and fighting each other. And there's only one place that they can go, and it's this bunker that only he owns. So basically, he will own where everybody is at. And That's basically the gist of the movie. And the play on it is that he's implying it'll do the opposite of calming people down. So, it's the calm up effect that they're doing here. That's kind of the stupid comedy that you are looking forward to when you see this movie. It'll be a lot of those dry humor deliveries with that kind of a thing in mind. So, that really is the gist of the movie, is just that there's this guy, he's trying to do this, world-threatening idea, and then it's up to Liam Neeson to stop him. Along the way, he does, encounter Pamela Anderson's character, and then they work together to try to take down the big baddie. There are a lot of cameos in this movie. We see Dave Bautista come into play towards the end, where the villain is giving a monologue like any other villain would, and Liam Neeson's character decides, oh, this is a great time to take a pee, and so they swap out, and it's like, what the heck? What's going on here?
Except it's
I
not the villain doing the monologue, it was Liam Neeson doing the monologue.
Oh, I thought it was the villain. Sorry. Um, but that makes sense too, because he's like, "Oh, I messed up the delivery." But it makes me wonder if that happened in any of the other three, like if it was a play on an old joke at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But
Weird
it's
Al is in here too.
Yeah, Weird Al. He's supposed to be the entertainment of where all these people are going in this bunker. Like he's going to be the entertainment for the rest of everybody's lives, which is funny. I know there's a lot of people that love Weird Al. I haven't really listened to any of his stuff, and I know he's amazing. Um, but yeah, it's kind of a funny thing to have in there. So instead of going joke by joke by joke, I think we would, if we just say one of the jokes that we each liked, that would be kind of a fun way to talk about it. That way you kind of get an idea of what to expect, but at the same time, we don't ruin everything. So,
Yep.
Sarah, is there one in mind that stuck out to you?
Well, I'm gonna leave the kitchen scene for you because that was a pretty good one. But there's another scene that I thought was also pretty good. So he is gifted a electric vehicle, self-driving electric, basically a Tesla. It's not really a Tesla. It's from Richard Kane, so it's from the villain, right? It's got this weird triangle steering wheel and stuff. And as somebody's showing him like how to get in and everything, like the back doors are closed, so his police partner is trying to open the back door, but there's no handles, so he's really struggling with it. And the guy who's showing him the car is like, "Well, watch this. Car, open doors." And so it opens the door and it hits his detective partner right in the face, so it like knocks him over. And as he's trying to get in the car, that's when Frank Drebin is, like, "Oh, well, let me try this. Car, closed doors." So then the doors close and it slams the guy's hand in there. So then he gets hurt again. And they're like, "Okay, well, try this. Car, drive 30 feet." And so then it starts to drive, but it's still plugged into the electric charger. So it takes out like three or four charging units, like electric car charging units, takes those all out. Nobody notices anything. It just keeps driving. And then the last thing that takes out is the wall to the prison, so all the prisoners are escaping. And of course, they just have no idea that any of this is happening behind them, and the partner is just in the back, and he's like, "You can't," like, talking to the prisoners, like, "You can't get out, like, you're supposed to stay there." And then he sees this one in a straight jacket with kind of like a Hannibal Lecter mask going on. He's like, "Oh," and he just decides to stay back because you don't want to mess with Hannibal Lecter.
And I do want to point out, because I know they did it for, comedic purposes. But if people go to watch this movie and they go, you know what? That's a good point. Can these electric cars drive off being plugged in? No, they can't. Like that was something that Hollywood did for me, because I have an electric car. If my car is plugged in and I go to turn it on and try to drive away, the car will say, "Hey, you are plugged in. We aren't going anywhere, buddy, until you unplug it." So just let you all know, electric cars do not do that. Um,
People with gas cars can do that though,
yeah.
if they forget that the pump's plugged in.
There's so many people trying to rip on electric cars. It's like, you know what? They got that part figured out, buddy. Um, but okay, so I didn't want to take the kitchen scene actually. I
Oh,
want the
okay.
audience to experience that, but I did say in the beginning that we would touch on it slightly. Basically, what you are to expect is that, this is one of those sexual tension scenes between the two characters. They're gonna talk to each other, and what it like if you weren't an adult and you were a kid, you probably would never pick up on this because they are literally talking about cooking a turkey. But because we're adults and we know what they're really talking about, there's a lot of euphemisms that happen here. It's really cringy but hilarious at the same time. And then they don't stop there. They go to actually cook this thing. And what was the bad guy's name? The sidekick guy?
Sig Gustafsson, I think.
Yeah, Gustafson, whatever is Gustafson? I don't know. But anyways, he's watching the two cops, and what he is seeing with his binoculars is not what's happening in the actual kitchen, and he thinks he's seeing some very adult content.
Well, he's seeing heat mapping of it, so he's not getting like a crystal clear picture. He's just seeing the heat profiles.
Right. And so I'm gonna leave it at that because it is a great scene. Everybody should see it themselves. Very funny, arguably one of the pinnacles of the film. But the one that I want to point out that I thought was pretty funny was so the bad guy, he sends this electric car specifically to um our main character Drevin.
Drebin.
And so it's handpicked. So the reason why this is important, us as the audience members, we can be picking up, oh, if he doesn't like Drebin and he's giving him an electric car, maybe there's a way for him to override it and try to like kill him or try to mess with him. And so we do eventually get that at one point, and Drebin is driving along and it gets overridden. And what it's gonna do is it's aiming to, send him out into the lake, the big body of water, so he drowns. And he recognizes this, that the car isn't listening to him anymore, and he's like, I gotta get out. And so he takes his gun and he shoots the windshield and he hits it a couple of times and then he eventually pushes it out. But then, there's different people crossing the street. And so I think the first group was these clowns. Like they had a whole bunch of balloons and he says, "Get out of the way." But intercepts them and the balloons fill his car and so there's not a lot of space in there for him and so the next people that are in the road are beekeepers and so a bunch of bees get in his vehicle and remember there's balloons in there so there's not many places for the bees to go so he's trying to get rid of them and comedic rule of three, right? There's one more thing to come. And so, usually when people are crossing the street and it's like, oh God, don't hit that person, they have something fragile, they're supposed to be holding something glass. Well, they are holding something that's glass. It's another windshield. And so when he goes to hit these people, a new windshield just falls into place, and so he's locked back into the car. And so it was like all that
With
effort for nothing.
with the balloons and the bees now.
Yeah, with the balloons and the bees. So that's kind of funny. It almost sounds like birds and the bees. Um, but yeah, I thought that was another funny slapstick comedy thing. Um, and again, some it's something small that kind of tells you what to expect with the rest of the stuff. So I think we're gonna leave it there just so that we can kind of have an idea of what kind of comedy, but we also don't want to ruin it for you. But we did tell you what the overall story is here. So, Sarah, you gave it a 7. I gave it an 8. Definitely recommend you see it. It is a great comedy. It's kind of hard to come by those these days. So,
For
check
sure.
it out. If you enjoy this type of video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Drops a like if you like the video and drops a comment letting us know your thoughts on the Naked Gun. And then as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.